After March, the Russian-Ukrainian conflict reached a critical turning point. As Zelensky and Trump broke up completely, the United States suddenly announced that it would cut off its intelligence support for Ukraine, and the Russian army seized the opportunity to launch an all-out offensive, and the battlefield situation changed significantly again. We know that since the outbreak of the Russian-Ukrainian conflict, the United States has been Ukraine's largest military and intelligence supporter, and its aid to Ukraine accounts for nearly half of the total Western aid to Ukraine. However, this alliance relationship took a sharp turn for the worse in early March. On February 28, Ukrainian President Zelensky visited the White House to try to promote the signing of the U.S.-Ukraine mineral agreement, but the two sides had a fierce quarrel due to differences in negotiating positions. Trump publicly questioned whether Zelensky was truly committed to the peace process and accused him of making the worst remarks. The next day, Trump ordered the suspension of all military aid to Ukraine, including key equipment such as the Patriot air defense system that had not yet been delivered. According to Reference News on March 6, local time on the 5th, U.S. Central Intelligence Agency Director Ratcliffe confirmed that the United States had suspended intelligence sharing with Ukraine. Previously, the United States helped the Ukrainian army to accurately locate Russian targets through real-time satellite images and drone reconnaissance data. In particular, the long-range strike capability of the HIMARS rocket artillery system is highly dependent on U.S. intelligence support. A Western official admitted that if the intelligence interruption continues, the Ukrainian army will lose the ability to compete with the Russian army. Although the White House claims that the suspension of aid is part of the re-examination, it is not difficult to see that Trump's purpose is to put pressure on Ukraine and force Kyiv to accept more favorable negotiation conditions for the United States, especially the mineral mining rights agreement. Zelensky has publicly stated that he is willing to achieve peace under Trump's leadership and handed Trump a letter of peace, saying that Ukraine is ready to sign a mineral and security agreement at any time. It is worth noting that the cutoff of the U.S. Morning Post support coincided with the Russian army launching a new round of large-scale offensive. The Russian Ministry of Defense reported on March 4 that in the past 24 hours, the 6 major Russian army groups cooperated in combat, causing 1,405 casualties to the Ukrainian army and destroying a large number of Ukrainian equipment. The Russian-Chinese army group attacked Donetsk and eliminated 595 enemy troops in a single day, occupying a key tactical position. A week earlier, the troops had captured the settlement of Andriivka in Donetsk, but caused 2,340 casualties to the Ukrainian army. The Southern Army Group advanced into the depth of the Ukrainian army's defense, destroying targets such as armored vehicles and electronic warfare, while the multinational army group continued to suppress the Ukrainian army in Kharkiv Oblast and cut off its logistical supplies. The Western Army Group implemented firepower coverage against Kharkiv and Donetsk, and the Northern Army Group attacked the Ukrainian army stronghold in Kharkiv Oblast, while the Dnieper Army Group continued to put pressure on the two states of Zaporizhia and Kherson. At the same time, the Russian army's actions were not limited to ground offensives, but also launched cluster strikes on Ukrainian military-industrial facilities and energy hubs through high-precision missiles and drones, further weakening its war potential. According to data from the Russian Ministry of Defense, since the special military operation, the Ukrainian army has lost more than 656 aircraft, 45,000 drones and 22,000 tanks and armored vehicles, and its troop shortage problem is becoming increasingly serious. Faced with the breakdown of U.S.-Ukraine relations and the Russian offensive, European countries such as Britain and France collectively watched Ukraine passively being beaten in silence. It can be seen that Trump has plenty of means to punish Zelensky, and Ukraine can no longer escape its tragic fate.